99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You already know what time it is. And right here, we are joined by Montreal, Quebec's own. We got Sucker Punch, and they are punching their way into the 99.9 FM airwaves. Guys, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I got to say, I absolutely love what you guys got going on out there in Quebec. Literally, you guys are absolutely blowing up. You guys are going on tour with Mess, which we're going to talk about later on in the interview. You guys got some phenomenal music. I'm telling you, you guys literally have sucker punched punk rock.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's how we came up with the name. So we're happy that we're actually living up to what we named ourselves.
I was speaking of the name because I got to say Sucker Punch. Did one of you guys just randomly just sucker punch someone, and next thing you know, you're like, you know what? That's a punk rock band.
I'm pretty sure
that would have been an amazing
story. A much better story than what happened. I think we wrote down like a list of like 50 names. Yeah. That one struck out to us. Maybe because we wrote it in like bold, not in bold, in all caps. And I guess that just made it stand out. And then we're like, okay, it's like Sucker Punch, like all caps, exclamation point. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah. And like, we thought exactly what you said, like, let's sucker punch people in the face with this band. So it just like, it felt like the attitude that we had, like going into it. And I think people have gotten it. So that's cool.
Yeah, I agree.
And also, how did you guys actually meet? Because honestly, like I said, you guys have phenomenal chemistry. Your music is absolutely phenomenal. You can definitely hear the chemistry that you guys actually got within your music. So I have to ask, like, how did you guys all meet in the very beginning of Sucker Punch in itself, way before you guys even put those 50 names up on a board?
Tinder.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? No judgment, man. You know what I mean? You can be there for a good time or a long time. You never know, right?
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is actually a very long story. You guys are all ready?
Give the short version, Joe.
Yeah. So basically, obviously we're all friends. We were all friends before this band. So me and Romain, another guitarist in this band, we played in bands together for a few years. Split up for some reason, but stayed friends. And then Terry and Zach had another band, which Romain and I joined later on.
The first smell.
Yeah, exactly. So we all became like tight friends. This went for a few years until like 2016, 2017. Then we put this aside. Zach went to made some country songs. It actually did well, very well. And then just a few years later, I started myself to write some more riffs, send it back to Terry. Terry was like, "Oh, it's cool. Maybe I can tap in." And then Fred, this is an interesting part. Fred was actually, how do you say that? Like a roommate of Romain.
So yeah, one of my best friends, since I'm 4 years old, was working at a scrapyard, and there was this other guy with whom they became roommate, and this guy was Romain. So I met Romain from one of my best friends, and if they never became roommates, I would have never met them, so it's crazy.
I think the best addition though is our drummer Alain.
Yeah.
So he, in that original band that Joe and I and Zach and Romain were in, before Joe was the drummer in that band, and before we tried Joe out, we tried out Alain, and we really wanted him, but he was too cool for school, and he was like, sorry guys, it's not gonna happen. So then we ended up meeting Joe. So that was like serendipitous. And then afterwards, when we started this band, we had everybody, we had written songs, we had like the ball was rolling, and we didn't have a drummer. And then we're like, oh, let's reach out like this Alain guy. Like, this band's way better than the other band. He's totally gonna say yes. And then he's like, yeah, no guys, like I don't have time for this. Like
I already have a
what's wrong with this guy? And then finally, we just booked a show without even having a drummer because we're just stupid. And we're like, do you want to drum for the show? He's like, fine, I'll show up for a practice. And just the chemistry was so good at that one jam that literally he left that one jam where he was just supposed to sub in, and he was like, okay, so like I'm in the band, right? And
Can I be in the band? And we're just like, yeah, like obviously you can be in the band. Like we wanted you in the first place. Like
yeah, exactly.
it's
It's like
just
you were
perfect.
when it was too cool for us. So like,
Exactly.
yes. Uh,
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how all of like these like dominoes fell and it just all came together. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I like about saying about the whole story is that when we broke up that first band in like 2017, like Zach went off to do like country music and start a solo project and stuff. And he said, Terry, if you ever get a pop punk band together with the right singer, because he was a singer in that other band and he was like over it. He didn't want to like sing in a band. He's like, I want to like do backup vocals and like rock out and like we'll have the best pop punk band ever. And like both of us were having this conversation. We're like, yeah, that's never gonna happen. And then like legit it happened, which is pretty
That's why you
I'm
never
not saying
say
we're the
never.
best band ever. I'm just saying it's a great band and we're happy to be
Definitely the best band in Montreal. I'll tell you that. And I do know Montreal has a lot of pop punk, but I will say you guys definitely sucker punched all the punk rock in Montreal. I got to say that.
Dude,
Not going to
thanks.
say that was our goal when we started this band.
Yeah.
Not
But
going to say it.
one thing that I could say though is that we're trying to bring the scene alive, and it works
Yeah.
because the other bands around us, they put out music and they do shows, and that's so because we want other artists, like big artists, to come to Montreal, and because the scene is there, the scene is alive, and there's so many good bands that can open for many major artists. So yeah, if
Yeah, I
any
think
big
like since
artist
we've
wants
started,
this,
there has been a lot of bands that have started as well, like at around our time, and like the scene's alive and well, and like
yeah, like
you
come
know,
to
this is a
Montreal, don't
really
skip Montreal.
this is really silly, but like, so we work with this producer out of Toronto called Kyle Marchant, and he's fucking awesome. What's up, Kyle?
It's okay.
And like a bunch of bands from Montreal are working with him now, and like, and he's like, dude, there's so many cool bands in Montreal right now. Like, he's like, I'm doing more bands in Montreal from Montreal than I'm doing like bands from Toronto right now. And I'm like, cool. That means like the scene is like renewing itself, and it's heading in the right direction. And like, there was a bit of a lull when we started, and like, I'm not saying we're the ones who did it, but like, I think like it's in a healthy place, and that was one of the things that we wanted to do. We wanted like our first couple of shows, like I was a DJ of the local emo night, and I always thought it was a shame that like there was no shows attached to it. So like I attached a bunch of our shows, and then got a few bands from Ontario, and like tried to get like a momentum going, and then like those shows were very successful, much more successful than I thought they would be, and then I don't know, something started happening, and like the shows keep getting better and better, and like we just played like Foufounes Electric. I don't know if you know Foufs in Montreal. That's like a pretty mythical venue, and we headlined it and we sold it out. Like that was pretty fucking crazy.
Good accomplishment.
Yeah.
Pretty cool feeling. Yeah, so many cool venues to play Montreal. Don't skip Montreal.
Yeah, don't skip Montreal, people. Stop skipping Montreal. Yeah.
And October 7th of 2022, you guys actually released the EP titled Night Calls. I was wondering, what is the story actually behind this earlier released EP? And of course, is it actually still available to be streamed or purchased today, 3 years later in 2025?
Yeah, it is. All of this EP, all of our music is available everywhere on the internet. It was our first EP, so like the 4 songs that you can find on this EP are all of our first singles that we put out on our first year in 2022. You can find them anywhere, everywhere.
Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere.
Yeah, the story of that is that's like the first couple of riffs that Joe and I were sending each other when like we're just like let's just send each other riffs, and I think like one of the things that's fun about this band is that we didn't take ourselves seriously at all when we did this. We're just like, let's have fun, let's play the kind of music that we grew up listening to and that we still love today, and let's do whatever. So we got together and we didn't have a singer. We wrote all of the riffs that ended up being those songs, and then we just went with those, and we went to see a producer for no reason, even though we had no singer. We're like, he'll write the vocals and whatever. And then like we met Fred, and then like he heard the instrumentals and he thought that was cool, and then we got together and put those songs together. And like the vision just came about like pretty quickly. We're like, what do we really like? We like pop punk, and like, what do we want to do? Well, we want to keep it modern. So like, let's try to have the melodies be kind of modern. Let's throw in like a trap beats. Let's put in some synths. Let's do this. And just like as we were recording those songs, we were kind of piecing everything together. And like those songs went literally to like 2 or 3 different producers until we each one of them helped us bring something out that we didn't know was there, and we ended up with that EP, which like usually your first release, you're like, oh, I'm ashamed, let's take it off the internet. But like we're still playing those songs. We're still super proud of those songs, and we fucking love those songs. They're great.
I think the cool part about it, like you said, Terry, like we tried to keep it very modern, but at the same time, like keep it super nostalgic, you know, have these Blink-182 vibes of the early 2000s and stuff. So that's what we tried to
we tried to like everything we grew up listening to, everything we love, because we were not only fans of pop punk, we're fans of like many different genre, and we try to just like in the pop punk scene try to incorporate some stuff that we just love about other style and just have fun with it. And I think that's what's been our like our thing as a band since we began.
I think like not overthinking it and being like, hey, I wrote this riff and it doesn't sound like a Blink-182 riff, but like it could still be a Sucker Punch riff. And then like the vocals are very pop, but like that's cool. It doesn't need to be angst. Not every song needs to have like the pop punk angst to it. Some of it can have like some pop cleanliness to it. And we have a song that has a bit of country elements to it. We have songs with like beats. We have songs that are heavier, songs that are poppier. Like we're just throwing everything that we like into a bowl.
Just having fun.
Yeah.
Stirring the pot and making the soup.
Big old pot of gumbo, man. Punk rock gumbo.
Exactly.
There we go.
But also taking things a little left field, you guys actually did a phenomenal release. You guys kind of took it back to the 90s, but put your own twist on this. July 21st, 2023, you guys teamed with So-So to actually release the song Barbie Girl. I was wondering, what is the story behind this cover? And of course, what made you guys decide to recreate the 1997 pop hit by Aqua?
I have to give all credit to So-So. Like they're a fucking machine of releasing amazing covers, and they get some of the coolest like yet to be discovered bands. And you know, they're from Australia, so we've never met them in person or anything, but we've always kind of followed each other and
we vibe
with each other. We ask them for advice. Oh, you guys seem like you're doing this well, and like we're like, oh, you're doing this well, like, and we share notes, you know. And they just came up to us and they're like, cool, like the Barbie movie is coming out, I'm assuming July 2023 based off of the release date.
If I'm correct, they released a song.
And they're like, we're gonna release a Barbie Girl cover. Like, are you down? And we're like, that sounds super dumb. Of course we're down.
So like, what the hell? Let's do
exactly.
it. That's so nice.
So they had the track ready. Fred got into the studio, laid his magic, and the rest is history.
It's funny story about it. So where Fred did his vocal, this is our buddy Philip in Montreal.
What's up, Philip?
He's currently on tour in Germany. And the other day, he was in a venue and the song was playing.
Yeah. The song was actually playing, like Barbie Girl was playing in the venue. Incredible.
And I got to say, that, first and foremost, growing up in the 90s, obviously that song was kind of a hit and miss. I mean, it was all over the radio, but as a guy, you couldn't really listen to it. I will admit, I should admit this publicly, you know, so hopefully nobody remembers this part of this interview, but I low-key kind of liked that song back in the day, man. But you guys made it so I could listen to this song and actually at least sound relatively cool again. So that's all I got to say, man. So since 2023, if I'm playing Barbie Girl, I'll be playing Sucker Punch and So-So, you know?
Oh, yeah. Shout out So-So.
Yeah.
Big shout out to them.
Legends.
And also, February 14th, 2025, on Valentine's, you guys actually released your most recent single titled Not My Ex that featured Diva Bleach. I was wondering, how did you guys actually get connected with Diva? And of course, what was it like just working alongside this phenomenal artist for this particular song?
I mean, like I think nowadays, like internet is such a magnificent tool for artists to get together, and it's all about like trying. Like we had her voice in mind for that song. We felt like she had what we were looking for. We were hearing her voice on the track, and like we're just let's give it a shot. Let's send an email. Let's send a DM, and then yeah, we got an answer, and then a back and forth speaking manager to manager, and then yeah, luckily everything went the right way. The song sounds amazing. Really happy with what she did. She provided us with like many takes also, which is really cool.
She's
Such
awesome.
a super professional. It's like folders of like takes of different harmonies of different part of the song, like 7 of each. So it was a good experience, and yeah, really happy with how it turns out.
To add to what Fred said is like sometimes life is so random. Like Sydney from Diva Bleach was literally on top of our list because we always knew that when we wrote that song, there's something about the content, the lyrical content, and we're like, okay, we feel like a female feature would just kill it on that song.
Yeah.
And she was on top of our list, and we tried to hit them up through their management. Well, our manager reached out to their manager. We're just like getting no responses, and like we were giving up and trying other options. And literally out of nowhere, Sydney followed us on IG, and we just started talking to her. We're like, hey, we've been sending your management emails about this song. Like, do you want to do it? And she was just like, yo, this song rips. Let's go, So yeah, life.
Yeah.
Joys of social media. And I got to say, just sometimes reaching out to the person themselves is the best route as well. I do know I've done that many times, and so many people have been like, hey, just contact our manager. Then it's like, crap, it's a full circle moment. But you know what I mean? You never know who's going to say yes, because at the end of the day, these people are just like you and I, right? They're their own people. So I guess they can make their own decisions depending contract wise, but I'm glad it actually worked out for you guys to get Diva on the track.
Yeah. We last year we released a bunch of different tracks with features, and like a lot of them came that way. We're like, hey, like we dig your band. Like, are you interested? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. Like you said, they are real people. And, in the end, they've been in our shoes. Like they know what it's like to start a band and to want to get people's attention, and obviously getting the right feature on the right song is that's super important. But then also getting like a name that's slightly bigger than yours helps you get new ears onto your stuff. And then I think that the best thing that we've ever gotten was the words from Travis from We the Kings, who's on our song Let's Get Lost. Yeah. We met him at All Your Friends Fest, which is I'm sure you're aware of it, but like in Ontario, big emo / pop punk, like a revival festival that kicks ass. And we met him there, and he had already done his vocals for Let's Get Lost. And when we were talking, he's like, I'm going to do this I did this for you guys. The only thing I ask of you is when you guys blow up, do it for somebody else. And we're like, that's so fair. That's like the right attitude. And
that's punk rock, man, right there.
Exactly.
That's punk rock, man.
Well said, actually. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That's the scene. That is the scene that I know and I love. So that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like everybody wants the scene to be strong and healthy. And
that's how you do it. Yeah.
It's the older bands, the younger bands, the bands from the States, Canada, Europe, whatever. Like, we're all in this bed together, and we're all excited about this music, and we want the listeners and the people who go to shows and the kids, I guess, to be into it and have a good time. And like, we're all working towards that together, and we're all helping each other out, and that's a big thing that we have, and like we've learned from other bands that we've played with and had the chance to talk with and or work with or whatever, is like pay it forward, and nothing's a secret. Like, you know, there's a band that just started in Montreal called Victories, pop punk band, and like they're dudes that we know. Some of us have played in bands with them, and like we're not like hiding our secrets or anything. We're like, yo, you're starting a band, and like you guys are taking it seriously. Like, hit us up. Like, we'll have conversations with you guys and like let you know what works, what doesn't work, and give you some advice on anything that you need. Like, we want you guys to blow up, and we want to play shows with you, and we want the scene to be healthy.
Yeah. Again, it also comes back to this, like what Terry says, like the scene is healthy. So people come and play in Montreal, more shows, more bands, more shows. So it's like, yeah. So next time, it's the bigger it gets, the less people are gonna skip Montreal, and the scene's gonna be healthier than ever.
Hopefully.
And speaking of more bands and more shows, from July 10th to the 13th, you guys will be touring alongside Mest on their Canadian tour presented by Vince and Wham Productions. What can your fans in London, Hamilton, Toronto, and Montreal expect from your performance? And of course, where can they snag themselves some tickets to these 4 phenomenal shows coming up in July?
So would you expect
I'll answer your last question first. You guys can go to our social media. We have a link, which is our Linktree. It has all our important links.
Yes.
And all the ticket information is there. Grab your tickets now. They're flying like hotcakes because it's going to be a hot show. What are we going to bring? I think we're going to warm up the crowd to the perfect temperature so that when Meth comes on, the room's ready to fucking explode. I think for people who haven't seen us live yet, I think we're a good time. I think we're fun and dumb is what I would like to say. We take ourselves seriously, but not at all at the same time. And we're just there to jump in the air, swear, kick, play some high energy songs.
Yeah.
And bring a good time to everybody. I think
exactly.
Like even if you've never heard of us, you're gonna get into the show. It's the songs are catchy, they're easy to get into, and there's a bit of everything for everyone in it. So
a few jokes.
It's gonna be fun.
We're gonna have a few jokes. Maybe
we
some
might
stuff maybe some stuff that you guys never heard before. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Joe might be dressed in black. It's funny because Joe only wears black. That's the
what are you saying, man?
Fred will wear a hat.
Oh, I always wear hats.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
My
I
guitar
will
be
most likely be wearing jorts also.
Air Jordans?
Jorts are my things.
Oh, jorts. I thought you said I will be wearing Air Jordans. I'm like, I have never seen you wear Air Jordans.
He's gonna walk in with the whole John Cena getup, eh? The jorts, the shirt, the hat. You know what I mean? Right when you start, you got to take your hat off, and you literally just got to bounce and like throw it in the crowd, you know.
Yeah.
But let's just hope nobody throws the hat back like 2006 ECW, man, because.
Now I kind of want to get Fred like a fucking championship belt for this tour.
Ooh.
Should I do
that.
it?
I think you should. You should make it a literally
with a championship belt for no.
What you got to do, man, is make it a spinner, but make the your guys' logo the spin head instead of the WWE logo. Make Sucker Punch the spin. So when people come up to you and try and mouth you, be like, you don't want to fuck with this, and spin it because I'll sucker punch you, and then spin that shit, bro. You know what I mean?
Challenge.
I feel like you're selling this so hard.
That is so funny.
But make sure you for the spinner you try to implement some skateboard bearings, bro. Like that way the fucking thing spins the entire time you're whooping that ass, dude.
Like I'm pretty sure LA, our drummer can probably like do something and like put a little like motor or something like to keep it activated.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, our drummer's like the
handyman.
The handy guy and like the techie guy. Like he's got like lights in his drum and his bass drum and stuff like that. Like he's
all DIY.
All DIY.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
But I got to ask, guys, obviously, you're going on this great tour with Mest. It's going down. I'm actually going to be doing press as well at the Montreal show, so I'll make sure in between taking photos and videos and whatnot, I'll swing on by and say hi to you guys. But aside from this amazing tour, man, what is next for Sucker Punch? Like, what do you guys have any more punches to throw this year in 2025? Meaning music, additional shows, singles. What kind of punches do you actually got left for your fans here this year in 2025?
In 2025, there's some things that are coming. Like
Big things.
We've
Big
been
things are
working.
coming.
Things coming.
Yes, exactly. It's the bit like the
I
the
emoji.
classic
Big
phrase.
things are coming.
Like big things are coming, but like we're working on new music. We're really excited about like what we're working on. We're getting our mixes and stuff right now. So like we're on the verge of being done producing new music, and we'll be releasing anytime soon.
Yeah,
I don't know what we can say, but yeah.
I will dip my toe into the water and give a little more juice. We just recorded. I'm gonna call it our debut EP, even though we have EPs on our Spotify page, but they're more like singles that we're dropping, and then like after they dropped, we like combine them to be EPs. But like this is like the first EP that we like sat down and we're like, this is a body of work. This is like 5 songs that tell a story together, fit together. There's a beginning, there's an end. There's like intent in it. Body of the work is the best way that I could describe it, and we're fucking proud of it. Like we're really, really, really stoked. Like we like Fred said, we just approve the mixes, and like I've been listening to my own band, don't tell anyone, like on fucking loop. I'm like so stoked on these songs. Like I think we did a good job. I think people are gonna like what we put together.
I actually forced myself not to listen to them yesterday and today because I wanted a little break, and then re-listen to them and like get a feeling again. It's like,
but you know what?
Get that first. I since we got the mixes back, I've been jamming them all day, like just listening to every details, making sure everything's good. And I'm so happy with our songs. Like I'm finally just listening to them because I enjoy them. So
I think we found the formula. I don't know, like you like hear of like bands being like, oh, at this record, like that's when like things started for us, or like we got it, and like
we cracked the code.
Like I feel like we're like we found the right formula of like
the creation
putting the ingredients together and
our team
it
also,
coming out like the way that we want it.
The team with
just the right amount of seasoning.
Yes,
just the right amount of seasoning.
We're really happy with all of our team, like with whom we are pre-proing, doing demos, creating. We're really building a big family around Sucker Punch that really is making this possible also, and it's cool because people are joining in. It's like it's so cool. Like, again, it's so punk rock, It's like this.
I feel like we're building a community around this band, and like I think any band that you can think of, you think of the band, but there's like a bunch of awesome people around them that are helping them, and getting all the pieces and bits together, and like I think like we're putting the Lego pieces together right now.
Yeah, really happy. So Team Sucker Punch, shout out.
Yeah, love y'alls.
And before we actually part ways here tonight, guys, obviously I know how to find Sucker Punch across social media, but for the people that might just be discovering you guys tonight, and honestly, if you're just discovering them tonight, you must just now became a fan of punk rock. But with that being said, we can't leave out the social media handles because we got to make it for people that aren't that social media savvy to find you guys. So how can people that don't know you guys get Sucker Punch today across your social media?
Ooh. So there's like many ways to listen to our music, to see us also on socials anywhere. So you have, I know you like all the classics. We're on Facebook and Instagram. We're not really we're on X, but we're not really like using it much. I would say we're on TikTok. We're on YouTube.
Strike of X.
YouTube is a good spot also to find us because our videos are there, our social videos are there. It's like reels and stuff. So if you want to see us be silly, You can find that on our YouTube, but there's also our music videos, and also all of our singles are there, and it's all free. So it's
and
always fun to have that as a platform.
yeah, and we're easy to find. It's Sucker Punch MTL Montreal everywhere.
And on Spotify and stuff like that, it's Sucker Punch with the how do you say that?
All caps and
Exclamation.
exclamation point.
There you go.
But I got to say, first and foremost, John, Terry, Fred, thank you guys so much for giving not only myself, but the radio station airways a bit of your time, guys. It was such an honor speaking with you three tonight. Hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon, but I'll definitely see you guys for the very last mess show in Montreal, Quebec. And I love the fact that they're wrapping this tour up in Montreal, probably because the Montreal airport's there and it takes them right back to California. But I'm just going to pretend that it's wrapping up in Montreal because they're saving the best for last. That's what I'm going to pretend.
That's the spirit. I love that.
Excited to see you, man. Thanks for
Really,
having us.
really happy to have been a part of this episode.
Yeah, let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, most definitely. Whenever the new record comes out, we'll definitely bring you guys back, because I do know we only touch base on a sliver of what you guys have done. So I always like leaving a little bit extra. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That way we can give the listeners some seconds.
Keep them wanting more.
I love that.
Hey, most definitely, guys. Have yourselves a wonderful night. And quickly before I wrap things up, I got to say shout out to Wham Productions for making this one possible as well.
Yeah.
Thank Wham.
Hey, have a good night, John, Terry, Fred. Have yourselves a wonderful week. We definitely shall talk again soon.
Yeah.